Welcome to the breakdown of Virabhadrasana I, Warrior I. So typically in a vinyasa class, you will most commonly come into your Warrior I from a downward facing dog. So we'll start from there. So come into your down dog, heels pressing down towards the mat, fingers spread wide, shoulder blades apart. Let your neck go. Inhale, lift one leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Now, if you are someone who you get here, and this is as far as you can go, and you get stuck, that's perfectly fine. Just grab your ankle and step it in between your hands. So now our legs are split. You'll pivot on the ball of your back foot and lower your back heel so that your foot's at like an angle. So maybe it's at 45, maybe a little more, a little less. There aren't really any yoga police. So do what works best for you and what you have available in your body. The front heel, the heel of your front foot, typically should be in line with the heel of your back foot. If that's a balance issue or you need to take it a little bit wider, that's perfectly fine. And the pinky edge of your back foot stays in contact with the mat. You have your little tripod foot, right, on your front foot. So you're still grounding down through the big and pinky toe mounds in the center of your heel. And then come to stand. So that's our feet. Your front foot is pointing towards the short edge of the mat, and your back foot's at an angle. So you're not quite at 90 degrees. If you're at 90, it's not the end of the world, but idealistically, we want it more at an angle, pinky edge on the mat, still lifting the arch of that back foot as well. So the back thigh, just like with Tadasana, is turning in and back. So we're working on squaring the hips towards the top of the mat. And it's not going to be perfectly square because of the orientation of the legs, but you're working in that direction. So the back hip is wrapping forward and the front hip is pulling back. So working in the direction of square, but your front ribs, your lower ribs, are turning to square to the top of the mat. So Warrior I is a twisted pose, right? We're twisting here in the torso. So pelvis is reaching down towards the ground. Nice long spine reaching out. Try to take the arch out of your back. Some of us naturally kind of want to go here and dump into our flexibility, but really work on staying up nice and tall. And the quads of that front foot, they're active too as you're pressing down into the ground. So lifting up tall, ribs spinning towards the top of the mat. Arms up overhead, palms facing in toward each other. So depending on how open or closed your shoulders are, is going to have an impact on what your arms look like. So if you have very tight shoulders, maybe your arms are spread a little bit wider, or maybe you have them closer together, but they're not quite to your ears. If you're more open in the shoulders, then maybe you can bring your arms back by your ears. And if you have the space, in some variations, you can even bring your palms to touch. So you can play with whichever variation feels good. It might change from day to day. Take one more breath here. And on your exhale, let it go. Good. So we'll review going through that again, but this time on the second side. So coming back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the other leg, whichever you've chosen. Exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Lower the back heel. Find your feet. Then rise up, press down into that front foot. Lift the arches of that foot. Nice, strong, grounded legs. That back thigh is spinning in and back. Ribs and hips both working towards squaring to the top of the mat. Arms up overhead. Whichever variation you choose, take a breath, inhale. To lengthen, exhale, maintain the length. Good, one more time, inhale. And exhale, release. And that's the breakdown of your Virabhadrasana I, Warrior I.